So that illustrates how a timing check is difficult to take advantage of, difficult to reason about, and difficult to defend against if you're the programmer. As a programmer, though, you can think about this problem and try to address it. Here is a timing-safe string comparison implementation. It's the same kind of check password function. It takes the provided and expected passwords with their lengths. But this time, there are no ifs, except the one that's built into the for here, to stop when the index reaches the provided password length. So that means the amount of time that this check password function will take will depend only on the provided string, and the attacker already knows the length of the provided guess. The way this function avoids any conditional branches is by accumulating whether the overall check is okay in this variable here, and it initializes okay to whether the length is correct, but then whether or not the length is correct, it's going to keep checking every character in the provided string. When it checks a character in the provided string, we need to make sure that we have not gotten past the actual length of the expected string, but we don't do an if here. Instead, we take the result of that index check and use the bitwise AND operator, not the Boolean operator that would short circuit. Bitwise AND is going to take the 1 or 0 of OK and AND it with the 1 or 0 that's returned by I less than ELN. And then we do the same thing, checking the provided character against an expected character. We do have to do a modulo here to make sure that we stay in bounds of the expected range, because we can't conditionalize the lookup here on whether I is less than ELN. We do check that, we just can't conditionalize it, and so we have to assume that expected is at least one character, and we can always do a modulo to get into a valid range to get some character to compare it to private. Finally, OK is returned. So again, no matter what the attacker guesses here, the amount of time that this check password function is going to take depends only on the length of the provided string, assuming that all the instructions run the way that we have written them here, and that we get out the kind of machine code that you would expect.